Welcome back, my beautiful students. So do not forget that in the last video on geography we talked about the solar system, where we explained the meaning of sun, or what sun is all about, and the planets. So today we are going to be looking at moon and other orbiting objects present in the solar system. We've explained what the component of the sun. We've explained the component of the planets, the 9 planets. We've discussed about that. But today we'll be talking about moon and other orbiting objects in the solar system. Let's put that into writing. We have moon and other orbiting objects in the solar system. So let's first talk about the moon. The moon is the natural satellite of the planet. So the moons, they are natural satellites. We do not have moon only in the Earth planet or in the planet Earth. We have moons in other 8 planets. We have the planets where we have 60 moons. We have the planet where we have 15 moons. We have the planet where we have 2 moons. We've discussed about that in our last video. But here today we'll be talking about the moon of the planet Earth. But before I go into that, moons are natural satellites that lit up the planet at night time. Just like the sun lit up the planet during the daytime, moon on the other hand lit up the planet at the night time. They themselves do not have light on their own, but they receive from the sun. The light they receive from the sun is reflected to the planet. The moon themselves do not have light, but the one they receive from the sun is reflected to the planet at night. So the moon is, however, the name given to the one and only Earth's natural satellite. The moon moves round the Earth from east to west direction. That is the moon. The moon is the natural satellite that lit up the planet at night, while sun is that satellite that lit up the day, or that give us the daytime on the planet Earth. So moons, they are natural satellites to our planet, and they receive their energy from the sun, which is reflected to the planet. Without wasting time, the moon, which is the Earth's only natural satellite, orbits Earth about once every 27 days. That is, follow a certain path around the Earth until it is complete for about 27 days. Once every 27 days. That is once in 27 days. Then another 27 days once. Among the planets in the solar system, only 2, Mercury and Venus, lack natural satellites. We've talked about that in our last video, that the Mercury planet and the Venus planet do not have a natural satellite. This, they do not have a moon that lit up the planet at night or during the night time. Several planets have multiple satellites. Jupiter and Saturn have the most satellites, the most moons. We've talked about that also in our last video, where we say Saturn has at least 60 moons, while the Jupiter has at least surrounded by 63 moons. So we've talked about that. So we are looking at other orbiting objects, having explained what the moon is. So under this particular subtopic, other orbiting objects or satellites, we have the explanation of Pluto. In my last videos on the planet, we're not chance to talk about Pluto, which is the 9th planet. Pluto is a dwarf planet which lies in part of the Kuiper belt. Kuiper belt is a disk of icy bodies beyond Neptune. So they just refer to Pluto as a planet, whereas Pluto as a planet is a dwarf planet. That is a very, very short and small planet. It is beyond Neptune and once counted as what? The 9th planet. That is one of the other orbiting objects or satellite that we'll be talking about. Pluto is the first. So let me quickly put that into writing. The next orbiting object we are going to be talking about is asteroids. I don't know if you've heard about that. Asteroids are small rocky or metallic body that orbit the sun. They are also part of the solar system. They are chunk of rock and metal too small to be considered planet. They are too small to be considered a planet, so they are just referred to as the other component of the solar system. They orbit the sun and are situated primarily between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. The asteroids are situated between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. They are generally irregular in shape. They do not have a definite shape and often have surface covered with craters. Their surface is covered with craters. That is asteroids. The next orbiting object we'll be talking about is comets. Comets are small icy body in space that shed gas and dust. Comet is also part of the solar system and is a small icy body. Icy, that is, it has ice in space that shed gas. It shed gas and dust, that is, from it comes out gases and dust. And some comets can be seen from the earth with unaided eyes. Some comets are seen naturally with our, that is what they're trying to explain to us. So comets are also part of the solar system. They are small icy body. Here we move to Kuiper belt objects. We call it KBOs. That is another orbiting body or another satellite under the solar system. It's a collection of frozen objects. Also we have Ceres. Ceres is a dwarf planet too, orbiting the sun in the asteroid belt between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. So these are the orbiting objects that are present in the solar system. The last one we'll be talking about today is the Ceres, which is a dwarf planet. Ceres is a dwarf planet. We move to the next page. It's a dwarf planet orbiting the sun in the asteroid belt. That is, it is around the asteroid satellite in the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, just like asteroids. So that is another satellite that we have under the solar system. For today, this is where we're going to stop. I hope you enjoy the class. If anything you want us to explain more on this particular topic, let us know in the comment section. I hope you enjoy the class. Do not forget to share the video. Do not forget to like and do not forget to comment. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.